This is Alison Normore, and I'm reading from my book, Return to Pangaea. Initiation. When you open your heart to discovery, you will be called to step outside the comfort barriers within which you have fortified your life. You will be called to risk old views and thoughts and to step off the circle of routine and image. This will often bring turbulence, but your soul loves the danger of growth. John O'Donohue. A circle is cast. Winter solstice, 2002, the darkest day of the year. Outside, under a full moon, the wind and snow whip up a blizzard, but inside, a magical feast is underway. 6 flower-crowned women sit around a dining table set with a white lace cloth found in a gypsy market in Portugal. 6 place settings of fine bone china with tiny green and yellow flowers, a legacy of lost marital bliss, are set before 6 chairs. Crystal wine glasses sparkle and white candles glow in a gleaming silver candelabra. Animated conversation is interwoven with laughter. We are getting to know one another, sharing our lives and passions. We open like large exotic flowers. We talk about the feminine deities who capture our imagination, who we identify with, and whose qualities we are drawn to embody. I choose Athena for her wisdom, and also because I'd recently been given an owl feather, the goddess's annual totem. The women are old and new friends who eagerly accept my invitation for a solstice celebration. One woman helps me fashion fresh flowers into tiaras for the goddesses. The only instruction I give is to bring food they love to eat. As each woman arrives with her potluck offering, a perfect meal manifests. A seafood theme materializes on green and yellow flowered plates, scrumptious cream cheese and shrimp appetizers, seafood casserole, Caesar salad, lemon squares, and chocolate mousse for dessert. After such a divinely inspired dinner, we gather around the fireplace for a ritual. One at a time, we speak aloud, with growing confidence, our dreams and wishes, and write them on tiny pieces of white tissue paper. Mine is for a summer place in Newfoundland. We place our prayers in the fire, watching them ignite and turn to ash. While the storm rages outside on this longest night of the year, we talk long into the night, in the crackling glow of the fire, about the revival of divine feminine consciousness, traditions, divine feminine spiritual traditions. We make a pact to meet again, to explore the healing rituals of women's circles, and set a date for our next gathering. Over the coming months, other women, including my sister, join us at each full moon. We read Jean Shinoda Boland's book, The Millionth Circle, How to Change Ourselves and the World. We are inspired by the idea of helping shift planetary consciousness. My oldest sister, a gifted intuitive, guides us in a visualization to energize our prayers and send healing light to the earth. The group begins to report positive changes in their lives, which we attribute to the energy and intention of the gatherings. A woman who desires a romantic relationship receives an unexpected phone call from a childhood friend in France, and within a year, they will be married. The circle becomes a safe haven where we can show up authentically, and issues of power and voice arise as the part of the group process. As the oldest child of divorced parents, I have a tendency to keep things together. My creed is harmony at all costs. And while not always the best way of dealing with differences, it is my default. I'll run a country mile to avoid a conflict. Perhaps it is Athena working through me, but I find myself advocating for more equitable allocation of space and time in the circle. We decide to offer a workshop to share our circle experiences with other women. It is well received, and so we plan another for the fall after our return from Ireland. The Ireland trip is my sister's idea. She had chosen Bridget as her patron goddess, and 6 of our group decide to visit the home of the spiritual mother of the Celts. We plan to visit her sacred sites and stay at Ballochmore Castle, a 15th century castle in County Laos in the south. A woman with an online web group suggests we have tea with the head witch of Ireland. And so we learn of Olivia Robertson, founder of the Goddess movement in Europe and the Fellowship of Isis. Regular post is the only way to reach her. And as our departure date draws near, a letter is quickly drafted and sent by courier. A couple weeks before the trip, I have a vivid dream. I awake feeling significantly changed. It is hard to describe. My journal entry on August 4th, 2002. I'm at the Bona Vista Lighthouse. The tall concrete and wooden building is brilliant. It glows pure white, like it's been recently painted. It's a place I've been to before. I retrieve a plate of cookies I'd left in one of the rooms inside the lighthouse, and my cats. The realization that if I hadn't come back to visit, I'd not have remembered where I'd left my cats leaves me both intensely sad and relieved. I begin to sob, releasing deep emotions that I fail to recognize as mine. A few days before our departure, our letter to Olivia Robertson is returned, marked undeliverable. Naturally, we are disappointed, but still excited about the adventure. My parents moved to Bona Vista on the east coast of Newfoundland when I was less than a year old, and we spent a year there before moving to another coastal community. After the dream, I have a chat with my mother, and she remembers the lighthouse. This historic town is where the explorer John Cabot first landed in North America in 1497, looking for new lands on behalf of the British Crown. Already inhabited by indigenous peoples, Bona Vista becomes a significant hunting and fishery base for Europeans who inhabit it for hundreds of years. I have the Beothics, victims of ignorance, illness, and greed, fall to history. I have no intention or memory of having lived in or visited Bona Vista, and it will be another 13 years before I visit the lighthouse. When I do, there will be nothing recognizable about my life. By then, I will see my dream as a demonstration of soul retrieval, a shamanic process involving deep metaphysical healing. The day before our flight, I attend a session with an energy medicine practitioner with whom I'd been working for a few months. The muscle testing procedure she uses indicates the issue of personal power is active for me, and there are 2 people to whom I'm giving away my power. The first person who comes to mind is are 2 of the most closest relationships in my life, my sister and my fiance. I have the intention, I make the intention to own my own power. The guided visualization to seal this intention makes me feel a little uneasy, but I go home and finish packing.